This is Phnom Penh, the capital of the Kingdom of Cambodia. It's November 2013, and we are here with 6 fellow travellers on an adventure to this notorious part of Southeast Asia. This is Sun Kumpar, one of 2 local guides who will accompany us on our journey. It's late afternoon on our first day, so there's just time to visit Wat Nom, a Buddhist temple originally built in 1373 and the tallest religious structure in the city. Kumpar explains that in 1372, a wealthy widow named Lady Pen found a dead koki tree floating in the Tonle Sap River. Inside a hole in the tree were 4 bronze statues of the Buddha. Taking this as a divine blessing, Lady Pen and the villagers constructed a small shrine on an artificial hill to protect the sacred statues. The interior of the temple comprises a central altar with a large bronze seated Buddha surrounded by other statues, flowers, candles and items of worship. The walls are covered with murals depicting Jataka stories of the Buddha's earlier reincarnations before his enlightenment. In later years, the area around the shrine expanded and became known as Phnom Penh, or Hill of Pen, and in 1432 it became the country's capital after the fall of Angkor and the collapse of the Khmer Empire. The next day, Kumpar takes us to the Royal Palace, a complex of buildings which serves as the residence of the King of Cambodia. It was built by King Norodom in the mid-19th century and is situated at the junction of the Tonle Sap and the Mekong rivers. The throne hall is where the king's confidants, generals and royal officials once carried out their duties. It is still in use today as a place for religious and royal ceremonies. The central 59-metre spire is topped with the white 4-faced head of Brahma, the Hindu god of creation. This is the Moonlight Pavilion, which is open to the air and is used as a stage for Khmer classical dance. The Silver Pagoda is located on the south side of the Royal Palace and houses many national treasures, such as gold and jewelled Buddha statues. Next door to the Silver Pagoda lie the stupas of Princess Kantabopa, daughter of King Norodom Sihanouk, and that of King Norodom Suramarit. It's then on to the National Museum of Cambodia, which houses one of the world's largest collections of Khmer art, including sculptures, ceramics and bronzes, although photography inside is prohibited. Then it's a quick visit to the Central Market. Opened in 1937, it was said to be the biggest market in Asia.
red grass. Petroleum price is higher if compared to Thailand.
It's November the 5th, and we leave Phnom Penh driving southwest towards the coast. We are heading for Anduong Tuek, where we will pick up a riverboat to take us on a 2-hour ride up the Priak Phipot River to our ultimate destination, the village of Chipat. We stop for refreshments at some roadside services. Compere has bought us each a kilo of lychees to eat whilst we're trekking in the jungle.
You got us.
Because for you today and also for tomorrow trekking, you can carry with you because in the forest no fruit shop.
It's 35 degrees and 98% humidity when we arrive at Anduong Tuek, where the boat is waiting.
They then had to get to day up. So they flew about 4 hours up before they...
Okay, please.
Strong arms.
We clamber aboard and with the engine clattering set off upriver.
My harp is tuned to the morning wind, my flute to the voice that weeps within. If you wanna taste the water, gotta come to the river. If you wanna taste the water, gotta come to the river. If you wanna taste the water, gotta come to the river. If you wanna taste the water, gotta drown, drown, drown.
le monde va du même côté, on va se retrouver à l'eau.
Mind your head. Signs of G-part. G-part. C-H-I.
Established in 2007 with the help of the Wildlife Alliance, Chipat is a unique project owned and run by the locals, designed to provide an income for the villagers by opening up their homes to tourists. After lunch, we set off to find our accommodation.
Chẳng bắt tục bay nè, bắt tục bay. Nó chẳng không được. Đi đây buồn chẳng qua kia mà bắt tục một kia.
Dạ. Đang đi bán buồn nó bán bay.
Sky. What time?
Okay, just put your things in your room, that what you don't want to carry, and then come out season up. And then we go together.
Where are we carrying what?
You carry only water that you drink when you walk.
Okay, just water.
Water.
Oh, and swimming pool.
Yeah, if you want to swim.
And that's all.
That's all. And your important stuff. And your bag, they will bring later.
But our bags went that way. There was someone passed with our bags. On a bicyclette. On a bicyclette. Whose was that? Whose was those then?
Okay, and I will send them back to you.
So
Do we
they're
need
up
to?
there.
Can we walk like this?
Yeah, you can walk.
We can go inside.
Not anymore, only leeches. Sorry, tomorrow leeches. But today that's fine.
Sue, Michelle, Sally and Evie are staying together at the same guest house. The rest of us continue on for another 10 minutes to hours. It's the end of the day and we take a swim in the pool above the Che Cray Rapids.
This way.
Today we're trekking to Omalu camp, 14 kilometres from Chipat.
Check the net.
We'll be sleeping in hammocks tonight, so we have to check the mosquito nets for holes.
Well, it's been fixed. There's a hole here. that's been fixed. It's been pretty agile, mosquitoes to get through.
Sorry. I should have told you last night.
We were always fighting over our bags anyway.
Before we leave, we have a typical breakfast of fried noodles.
Amanda, yeah, what's happening at the back here?
Oh, you've got your caught on
I've got a caught on my...
You've got yourself caught.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ôn nực bong bê san cho mai na rìm ra. Bong tới cho ôn miền Việt cha ta ôn bằng đèn na thay ơi hay na thay.
I think we're going at quite a fast pace. We're going walking fast.
I think maybe very slightly slower. Just a little bit slower.
I don't know.
Because we can't.
Chết ổn san ruồi nắng na bó. Đại bán con chỉ mũi nâng srei na nằm luôn ơi hay
At lunchtime, the boys light a campfire and set about preparing lunch.
No, I'm not staying. My feet aren't staying for longer than 10 seconds on the floor.
You know, I can cook when I was 9 years old.
Did you?
I can make curry, I can make amok,
I like curry.
but now I'm not good at cook rice on fire because at home I have electric.
The place is alive with brightly coloured butterflies which dance around the stream.
Amazing colours on those, aren't they? Like a blue on top and
The other side.
orange and yellow underneath.
With a red face.
It's alright, I'll soften your skin tones on the edit.
Did you
Yeah.
airbrush
Yeah.
to a delicate pale rose?
And you just put somebody
Yes,
else's
only
face.
devil in the wrinkles. I don't want to be classified as the old lady there. today because we can't get them in fast enough.
Really?
Shiwis. Yes. Everything's so rude to me today.
You ready?
It's also alive with leeches, which attack us with frightening efficiency.
It's disgusting.
Disinfectant.
Yeah.
We carry on amidst the cacophony of the cicadas. We stop so that Compere can perform some first aid. Sally and Evie seem to have suffered most from leech attack.
You can always undo your legs.
Just a moment, are you happy?
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Look at my
1, 2, 3.
We finally arrive at the camp. Our accommodation is nothing more than a raised wooden platform, which, although roofed, has sides open to the air. The next day we set off back to Chipat, mindful of the ever-changing weather. We seek sanctuary from the torrential rain in a village hostelry.
And it's rice in my town. And not first like this.
The porters have done us proud, erecting a rudimentary marquee and cooking a hot lunch in appalling conditions. At last, wet and bedraggled, we arrive back at our homestay in Cheap Hut. We stroll back to the village centre for breakfast.
Right. We've got some scrag ends here for us.
We were to have enjoyed another trek today, but the weather has forced a rethink, and we have elected to leave a day early and head for our hotel in Kampot to dry out. After breakfast, we get back on the riverboat for the trip back to Andong Tuek. The rains returned that afternoon, but we were safe and dry. Today's main event is an excursion to Rabbit Island, situated 5 kilometres off the southwest coast in the Gulf of Thailand. But first, we stop at Kep sur Mer, once a thriving resort town for the French and Cambodian elite in the days before the Khmer Rouge. One of the town's main attractions is the crab market.
Where is the best place to...
We board the boat which will take us across to Rabbit Island.
Ah! Well done. Jumping fish.
come on side, and later on people said Tunsai. Tunsai is rabbit, and we translate into English that we put it Rabbit Island. It's not many rabbits there. No, only rubbish.
Compere has planned a barbecue on the beach and has purchased charcoal, a portable grill and several kilos of fresh prawns.
Souvenir for my lifetime.
When you're 106 and you've got no teeth and your hair's all fallen out.
How do you know it's going to be 106
I've
with
got
no
no.
teeth?
I've no idea. Just make it up
It's
as I
very
go.
long life for me, 106.
And when you can go along and you can say, this is the fountain wow.
You'll go, who the hell are these people?
I don't expect that long life.
This Evian water bottle of chili sauce. They have their uses. They're very good for whiskey as well. In fact, the Scots say you eat bits of chili. Sorry, you can all have more. Sorry, I was restricting you. I didn't want to feel that.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers. What do you say in Cambodia?
You can say Cho Kai Mui or Sokapib Lao. Good health. Sokapib Lao.
Sokapib Lao.
Lao. Sokapib Lao.
Sokapib Lao. Blah blah. We'll just say blah blah.
Good health.
In Wales, yakida. Oh, yakida.
Back on the mainland, we are taken to the village of Cabal Rames, a small but bustling community strung out along a dirt road, consisting mainly of small farms where the people keep cows and pigs and grow rice in neat plots. As well as experiencing the sights and sounds of Cambodian village life, our visit will end with the 7th century Hindu cave temple of Nom Jnok.
For free, that's it. She's clever, this girl. Very bright. 9 years old. Yeah, but she's got the bad knee, so she can't come down, you see.
And you see the elephant, that one?
Oh, right, yes.
Small ones.
Small elephants, that's quite right.
And to look up there, we call the mummy.
Limestone stalagmites and stalactites create a unique atmosphere. It's a warm and sunny morning in downtown Kampot. Today is a free day, and most of us have elected to visit the central market in search of the world-renowned Kampot black pepper.
Okay, that's market time, and inside you will see a lot of things.
The market is almost completely covered by plastic sheeting, creating the impression of a subterranean city comprising hundreds of stalls, separated by narrow walkways and populated by thousands of market traders and shoppers. It's not difficult to find the pepper, although the negotiation over price is not easy.
Bamboo, dry bamboo, that's from China.
What do they do with that?
For cooking, we keep in water about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and then it was with the red wine, and then we cook. It is dry bamboo, just from China.
I take your picture?
នាងណាលួចណាញោ
Yes. Half kilo. យកកន្លះ
ឃើញសងសាញញោមទេនាងណារត់ស្លាប់ញោមនាងណាចិត្តធំមកអូនមកលួចយកផ្នែកខ្ញុំឲ្យខ្ញុំទៅវិញតាណាញោមទេកាមេរ៉ាបីពួនបានតែពេញគូឲ្យលោពួនណាថតដល់បីនេះ
Marvellous. Do you think that suits? I think it's very you. Pink, do you think, or blue? I think actually blue because it's a cooler colour. You'll feel cooler in it.
មានចិនមិនស្មងខ្ញុំនៅត្រណដល់ណាទេភ្លេងមិនណាទេឃើញគេស្លាប់តទូទៅទៅក្នុងប្រងអោបប្រកងស្រែកហៅបបងតែខំស្រឡាំងនាងណាលួចណា
They're fantastic. Sally, look. Fancy the idea of buying some that she's just made.
There you can. I got some people chẳng phải.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, it's hot.
Maybe we go and have a look in the back.
រំតាមខ្លួននៅក្មេងរត់ត្រូវនឹងភ្លេងចង់វាំងទូទូលឹកដៃលេជើងក្បាលងងងីងើអេក៏នៅពីចោថាអរមសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនគឺយើងសប្បាយតនខ្លួននៅក្មេងរំតាមខ្លួននៅក្មេងរំត្រូវនឹងភ្លេងចង់វាំងទូទូលឹកដៃលេជើងក្បាលងងងីងើអេក៏នៅពីចោថាអរមសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនសំមែនគឺយើងសប្បាយតន
Maybe we have a drink and eat our buns.
It's time to take refuge and refreshment.
Was this a good idea? Was this a good idea? 11sies, we call it. Bit early, but in the middle of the morning, we have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or a drink and a biscuit or a bun. It's called 11sies.
11 is.
Yes.
After lunch, there's time for a stroll around town before returning to the Natural Bungalows Hotel. That evening, we take a sunset river cruise up the Campot Bay River. Today, we take the bus back to Phnom Penh and brave the chaotic traffic to visit the Russian market, so named in the 80s because of the preponderance of Russian tourists.
Depending on you, if you want longer time and want to go back by yourself, you get tuk-tuk by yourself because you may have different sort of interesting stuff.
$15. No.
And how much you give me the price? Then I price, okay?
នឹកអូនថ្ងៃហេនឹកអូនយំនឹកអូនក្រមវេលាស្រមៃឃើញតែស្រស់ពងងារជាប់ដួងចិនបងនឹងអូននឹកអូនដឹងឬទេដឹងទេថាបងនឹកណាស់ពេលវេលារដូវចេះតែផ្លាំងបងនឹកអូនណាស់នឹកណាស់ខ្លាំង
We've been watching the boy making the juice, and then I was looking at the jewellery, and talking about getting everything ready.
Barbecue beef that's already chopped.
Right.
Put it here and put.
Put the next lot in. Oh, a bit like the cakes that they were making.
Yeah.
That evening we had to say goodbye to Compere, who was not coming with us on the second half of our tour to Angkor Wat.
And it's a great honour to say, on behalf of everybody, thank you so much for our holiday that we've had so far with you. We've found that you've been a multitasking person. So you've been our tour guide, you have been our translator, you have been our feeder because you've chosen all this wonderful food for us.
A medical assistant.
Excuse me, I haven't got there yet.
Don't interrupt.
Then you've been our doctor, picking off the leeches and putting more iodine on some people than on others. And we've been really, really pleased to have met you. And apart from all these other wonderful things that you've been to us, you've been our friend. And we really appreciate everything that you've done for us. And we say thank you very much. And we say thank you to your wife and your daughter. And we wish you very good fortune. We know you have some excellent plans for your family. And we know that being the man that you are, that they will all come to fruition in due course. So we would like to give you a very, very small token of our appreciation, and it will either go towards your flight to visit us in England or to the next story on your house for when the next baby comes. And we say from all of us, thank you, Uncle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sorry that tomorrow I don't have time to go with you.
Oh, very sad. We will miss you very much.
And
We will miss
I
you.
hope the next guy will be the best.
He has
and
a lot to
also
live up to.
He has to understand you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Accompanied by our new guide, Nara, we have driven northwards towards Siem Reap. After a couple of hours, we stop at a roadside market where we find some rather exotic foodstuffs on offer. The route has taken us east of the giant Tonle Sap Lake, where we plan to visit Kampong Pluk, one of several so-called floating villages. We board our water taxi under the threat of more thunderstorms. In the dry season, the village is normally situated along the shores of the lake, but when the rains come, it is stranded 10 kilometres from the mainland and accessible only by boat. Tonle Sap is the largest freshwater lake in Southeast Asia and normally drains into the mighty Mekong River, except in the rainy season when the water backs up to expand the lake six-fold to cover an area of 16,000 square kilometres. We bask in the late afternoon sun before returning to the mainland and continuing on to Siem Reap. We leave the hotel at 5 a.m. to arrive at the legendary temple of Angkor Wat in time for sunrise. Built in the first half of the 12th century by King Suryavarman II, it became a temple of worship while he was alive and a mausoleum after his death. Breaking with tradition, Angkor Wat was dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu and has become the symbol of Cambodia, appearing on its national flag, and it is the country's prime attraction for visitors. We leave Angkor Wat and enjoy a tour of a silk farm run by artisans Angkor.
It's like so much as well.
This is called raw silk. Yes, raw silk. Spinning money became a bond. For the spread have a more strong. The fine silk. The fine silk is
Originally an educational project to provide training for local communities with limited opportunities, it has grown to become a showcase for Khmer workmanship.
and here is the training center.
We are at the south gate of the walled city of Angkor Thom, the last and most enduring capital city of the Khmer Empire.
It's not allowed, the group is not allowed her to go back. So they stay with the people until the most of the old tour guide knows that.
Susan, c'est commenté on your trousers, exactly the same.
The city covers 9 square kilometres and is surrounded by a large moat.
People in Thailand, they like the product that made in Cambodia.
Nobody likes the stuff in Thailand.
It's always the same. In England, we say the grass is greener on the outside of the fence. Nice to have a sort of not a stroll, but
We set off along the city wall, heading for the southwest corner of the city.
One, and then one.
Oh, okay.
So there's does the height of the water vary?
That one
very
is
much?
small, but the most is almost the same level now. It's just a little bit lower. And here is the drainage, the big one, biggest one. So all the ugly water from the lake like this. It all mix together.
Yes.
So if some people understand some word that we use because that one is from the Sanskrit or from Pali. And
They're all very different.
the grammar
Yeah.
easy, but the Sanskrit is very difficult.
Yes.
It's similar like English, the Sanskrit, not the Sanskrit.
No.
And in the university, for the kids to study.
They're a bit sticky, I'm afraid.
In the exact centre of the city lies the Bayon Temple, whose most distinctive feature is the multitude of massive and serene stone faces on the towers which jut out from the upper terrace and cluster around its central peak. Another striking feature is the series of bas-reliefs adorning the outer gallery and depicting historical events and scenes from everyday Angkorian life in the 12th century.
So this temple is from the Hindu temple because they were trying to get the fund from World Monument Fund.
Okay.
And the
We enter the 12th century temple of Priya Khan, which is largely unrestored and overrun by particularly voracious vegetation. This is one of Cambodia's famous spong trees, which can live for 200 years. Their roots around the base of the ruins look like dripping candle wax. As the afternoon wears on, we arrive at the Buddhist temple of Bante Kadai, although by now the skies are darkening. Eventually we're rescued by our driver, bearing pink umbrellas. This is Ta Prom, built by King Jayavarman VII in the late 12th century as a Buddhist monastery and university.
Put camera down and no way to get out here. And then inside.
And that's where you lost him.
It was abandoned after the fall of the Khmer Empire in the 17th century, and although much work has been carried out to stabilise the ruins, it has been deliberately left largely as it was found. Here too the spong trees and strangler figs weave their tentacles around the walls. More recently, the temple was made famous by its appearance in the film Tomb Raider. We climb the rocky path up to Cabal Spin, an archaeological site on the southwest slopes of the Kulin Hills. The site consists of a series of stone carvings in sandstone formations carved in the riverbed and banks. Later that day, we arrive at Beng Melia. It was built during the reign of King Suryavarman II in the early 12th century. Although it is a Hindu temple, it has carvings depicting Buddhist motifs.
អ15មួយ